is a variable holding some reference to a particular person. And what this is saying is A's mother, whatever reference is used for that should be this reference, okay? The reference held in M. In other words, the value held here is used for the value here, and that value is happens to be a reference. So A's mother is now pointing to the same thing M points to. That is the most critical thing I'm trying to emphasize here. Whatever M points to, now A dot mother, you know, the mother variable at A is now pointing to that same thing here. Okay, A dot mother equals this dot get main of population 2. This basically stores A dot, this basically sets the reference in A dot mother to refer to the third person in the population. What I really want to emphasize, though, is this key point. This will be the final point here. So when you have this assignment, it does not change in any way the value of the, what was originally pointed to. So if M here points to this person, and we have M, A, and its mother is here, and mother has no initial value. If we have that at the start here, okay, before this code is executing, after this first statement executes, what changes here? Can anyone tell me? What changes here? So after this first statement here, after A dot mother equals M, what changes? Well, it is setting A's mother's, the value in this is now pointing to whatever M is pointing to. In other words, whatever value M held, it's some reference to some person, whoever it is in the population, now is the reference held by A dot mother. Okay? So it went from this, where it pointing to nothing, the null value, means don't point, you're not pointing to anything. You ain't pointing to nothing. It's just pointing to nothing at all. Right? And here, after setting that, it's going from pointing to nothing to pointing to the mother, to the same thing M points to. And then if you said further, A dot mother, if we changed it further, A dot mother equals this, what now this would be referring to is this dot population. It's the third person in the population it's going to be referring to. Okay, so this is the population. It's got some. I'm showing it here as kind of having, this is the array associated with it. This is the first person in the population, the second person. This is a third person. In other words, a reference to a third person in the population. And this is taking, whatever, yeah, so this whole thing is a reference to some person in the population here. And it's taking that reference and using that as the value of A dot mother. The key thing I want to emphasize here, folks, is that when you do this, when you set the mother to reference this, it doesn't change what M refers to at all, right? So remember, we went from this to this. Here, A dot mother is referring to this. And if we said further, A dot mother equals this, it doesn't change this guy at all, this person at all. All it does is it says, okay, formerly it had a reference here to this guy. Now this reference is instead going to be to this guy here, right? So all it's doing is it's assigning a different value to this location. The value was a reference to this, and now instead it's a reference to this. This person is unchanged. Now, if that were the only reference to this person, if M didn't point to it, it might clean that up, but that's because nobody can reference anymore. It isn't needed. But the point is that when you have an overriding of an existing reference, it doesn't change anything in the state except, it changes what A dot mother references from one to another. It just changes it from referring to this person to referring to this other person, and that's it. This other person may still be referred to by other people. That's all fine. It's just that a dot mother is now referring to another component. And similarly, if at the end we were to assign a dot mother equals null, it would just change back to this. Just change to this. Does that make sense? That is sort of how references are just another sort of value. They're just another sort of value that can be put in. You can think of them as pointers, things that point to particular people in the population. And a pointer gets assigned from one value to another. It's just another type of value can get assigned to a variable. So we can go from having no pointer at all to having the pointer to that one. And then it gets overwritten by a pointer to this guy here. That's all fine and good. We have we now have a reference to this person here in the population rather than a reference to that person. But it doesn't at all affect what M points to. It doesn't at all affect this person at all. It's just affecting what a dot mother points to. So variables hold values. You can change those